I really enjoy growing pumpkins in my garden, and I also like to can them up at the end of the season. They're fun to look at through the year. They're fun for the kids to either paint them or even carve them up. And then they're so great for us in our pantry. Two of the things that I really like to make out of these are squash rolls and harvest pumpkin bread. I've got some links below if you want to look at those. To prepare my pumpkins, I cut them in half, gut out the center. I save all the seeds because I like to roast them up. And then I peel the outside. I have a really nice Cutco peeler that works really well for this, but I've used just a knife before too. Then I cut the pumpkin into about 1-inch chunks. You don't want them too small because they need a little bit of room for circulation of the hot water around them. Otherwise, it won't get hot enough on the inside. People used to mash pumpkins and can them that way, but they've found that the heat doesn't actually get to the center well enough because it's so dense. So even if I want mashed pumpkin, I can it in cubes, and then later I'll go ahead and mash it. Now I need to add my pumpkin to my basket. I've got boiling water and I need to boil this for 2 minutes. I've got enough pumpkin today that I'll have to do this in 2 batches, which is fine because I'll just put this in for 2 minutes, pull it out, let it come back to a boil, and then do my next batch. I really like these boiling pots because they're so big, so they work for large quantities like this. Now I'll take it out of the pot, but I have to be really careful because there's a lot of steam there, so I don't want to get burned. And it's kind of heavy. Canning pumpkin is relatively easy. At this point, I'll just put it in my jars, and I need to leave a 1-inch headspace. That's a space from the top of the food to the top of the jar. And 1 inch is gonna be, just right down here at where the shoulder ends. Because I have so many pumpkins today, I'll have to do a couple of different pressure canners worth, but I'll just show you the one. I like to use quart-sized jars for pumpkin because it'll give me about 2 cups worth of mashed pumpkins, which is perfect for a lot of my recipes. I'll now add 1 teaspoon of salt to each jar. You would think that this would make it really salty, but it doesn't. It makes it taste really good. It maintains the color. It's really a good idea. It is optional. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. And then I'll add hot water right up to that 1 inch of headspace. The next step is to debubble my jars, and I just do that by putting a chopstick or, something either wooden or plastic. You don't want to do any metal because that can scrape up the jars. And I do it along the outside and then through the center. It's funny, you don't tend to think that there's very many air bubbles in here, but as you do this, you'll see that the water level really does go down. And then if I need to add any water to any of them, I do that now. I then use a clean damp cloth to wipe off the rim of the jars. Then I apply the lids and rings to fingertip tight. I'll then process them in my pressure canner for 90 minutes at 11 pounds of pressure. To prepare my canner, I'll add 3 quarts of water and I'll lock on my lid. And then I'll put it on the stove on high heat. Now that the vent is beginning to steam, I'll set the timer for 10 minutes. The timer went off and I'll place the weight on top of the vent. And then I'll watch for the pressure indicator to go up. This one already has. And I'll watch the pressure gauge to make sure that it gets up to 11. Now that it's come up to pressure, I'll go ahead and set my 90-minute timer and turn down the heat. I try to keep the pressure somewhere in between that 11 and 13 range. I don't want it to get up too high or it causes a lot of leakage, but if at any time it drops below 11, then I'll have to restart my 90-minute timer, even if it does it right at the end. So I try to watch that carefully. Now that the timer's gone off, I'll go ahead and turn off the heat, and then I'll just leave it to naturally come down from pressure. My pressure's down to 0, and my pressure indicator's down. So then I'll take off my weight and remove the lid. When I remove it, I make sure I open it kind of away from me because otherwise that steam will go right in my face and that's not pleasant. And then I'll allow it to rest for 10 minutes. I then just pull out my jars and put them on a heat-resistant surface. I let them sit there for 24 hours so that they have a chance to get a really good seal. Then I remove the ring and I use hot soapy water to wash them off. After that, I'll put them in a cool, dry, dark location and I'll eat them within the next 1 to 3 years.